Before she was a global pop sensation, before the dazzling Grammys, the headline-grabbing scandals, and those massive diamond engagement rings, Ariana Grande was just a young, starry-eyed teenager with a Broadway crush. But what seemed like a simple crush would soon unravel into one of the most captivating and chaotic love stories the world has ever seen. From fiery passions and heart-wrenching losses to love letters written in lyrics that would echo through the hearts of millions, Ariana's journey through love was anything but ordinary. This is the wild, unpredictable ride of Ariana's romantic escapades, where first kisses turned into unforgettable songs, and final goodbyes were never truly the end. It all began in the glimmering lights of Broadway, where dreams were written in musical notes and teenage hearts beat in sync. Ariana was just starting her journey, fresh and eager, when she crossed paths with Graham Phillips, her co-star in IE, the hit musical 13. They were young, ambitious, and under the bright lights of the stage, a romance blossomed, one that would last for 3 unforgettable years. In the world of Hollywood, 3 years felt like a lifetime, full of first loves and tender moments. But as quickly as it started, the magic faded. Yet, even after their love story ended, Graham's loyalty to Ariana remained unwavering. When the Donut Gate scandal broke and the media tore Ariana apart, it was Graham who stepped forward, not to judge, but to defend. He called her a sweet girl who didn't deserve the harsh spotlight. Their relationship might have been a chapter that closed, but the respect they shared never did. Despite the passing years, their bond, rooted in shared memories, has remained unbreakable. And then came the chaos of young love stretched across oceans. Jai Brooks, the Australian prankster from the Janoskians. Their relationship didn't just live online, it thrived there, like a digital soap opera fans couldn't stop watching. Tweets turned to shade, and Instagram likes became war signals. At first, it seemed sweet. 2 rising stars navigating love across time zones. But things went nuclear in 2013 when Jai took to social media and accused Ariana of cheating on him. With singer Nathan Sykes, the internet exploded. Ariana fired back, denying everything. Fans picked sides. It was messy, public, and painful. Somehow they tried again in 2014. A reunion that felt more like a rewrite of a bad script. But behind the smiles, cracks remained. As one insider put it bluntly, Jai just wasn't as supportive as he could have been. And with that, the curtain closed, for good this time. Speaking of Nathan Sykes, theirs was a love story that flickered like a candle caught in the wind, brief, delicate, and quietly beautiful. They first connected through music, recording the soulful duet Almost Is Never Enough, a song that captured the ache of love that almost was. On screen, their voices blended like they were meant to find each other, and off-screen, something real began to bloom. For a moment, it felt like the start of something special. But timing has a cruel way of interfering with tender beginnings. Distance, careers, and the chaos of young fame pulled them apart before they had a real chance to grow. In the end, their romance faded just as gently as it began, leaving behind only a song and a memory. And when Ariana later sang the names of her past loves in Thank You Next, Nathan's name was missing. Not out of spite, perhaps, but because some stories are too quiet, too tender to be shouted from the rooftops. Then came Big Sean. This wasn't just another rumored fling or a blink and you miss it romance. This was Ariana's first real public relationship, the kind with cameras flashing, red carpet hand-holding, matching outfits, and the occasional joint statement to the press. Fans loved it, tabloids ate it up, and for a while, it looked like a musical power couple in the making. They had chemistry on stage and off. But behind the scenes, reality wasn't so seamless. With both of them locked into hectic touring schedules, recording obligations, and careers that kept pulling them in opposite directions, cracks began to show. The connection didn't vanish overnight, but the timing was off, and neither could hit pause. Eventually, they let it go. When Ariana later sang, "Thought I'd end up with Sean, but he wasn't a match," the world heard more than a lyric. It felt like her signing the final page of that chapter. There was no messy fallout, no social media explosions, just a grown-up goodbye between 2 people who couldn't make the puzzle pieces fit. It was graceful, It was respectful, but in the end, it was still goodbye. Enter Ricky Alvarez, a backup dancer who, for a while, existed quietly in Ariana's orbit. During the chaotic chapter now known as the donut-licking incident, Ricky was there, not as a headline, but as someone standing just a few feet behind her, both literally and metaphorically. He wasn't flashy, he didn't seek attention, he was soft-spoken, kind, and had a quiet charm that clearly resonated with Ariana. What started as a work relationship slowly turned personal. It was subtle, not splashed across magazines or shouted from stages, but it was real. Their connection eventually made its way into her music. Victoria Monet later revealed that the dreamy, romantic song Moonlight was inspired by Ricky, and specifically by their very first kiss. It was a quiet nod to something, sincere, tucked into lyrics that fans would later pore over with curiosity. Even after their relationship ran its course, there didn't seem to be drama or resentment. When Ariana released Thank You Next, she included a playful line about writing songs for him, delivered with a light laugh, and Ricky laughed too. No harsh words, no lingering tension, just a calm, honest acknowledgement that this chapter of her life had come and gone, peaceful, respectful, closed. Then came the love that shifted everything. Mac Miller wasn't just someone Ariana dated. He became her closest companion, her creative mirror, and the person she could be fully herself with. Their connection ran deep, rooted in friendship, laughter, and shared music. For 2 years, they built a relationship that was as personal as it was artistic. Even when they eventually went their separate ways, the emotional bond lingered. When Mac passed away in 2018, it shattered something in her. Ariana later shared, "He was the best person ever. I was the glue for so long, and I found myself becoming less and less sticky." That raw grief seeped into her music, especially in songs like Ghostin', where her pain was almost too heavy to sing. To many fans, Mac was never just a boyfriend in her story. He was something unforgettable. His loss didn't just touch Ariana, it rippled through everyone who followed their journey. It happened quickly, loud, messy, and impossible to ignore. Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson went from casually hanging out to flashing engagement rings in what felt like a blink. Matching tattoos, constant public affection, tiny pet piglets, lollipops, and Starbucks cups with their names scrawled in black marker. It was like watching a rom-com unfold on Instagram and Twitter in real time. For a moment, it was sweet and surreal, but just beneath the surface, pain hadn't faded. Mac Miller had recently passed, and Ariana was still carrying the weight of that loss. The world couldn't look away, and the pressure only grew heavier. By October 2018, the whirlwind romance had burned itself out. Pete summed it up in one line, "I just hope she's happy." After that came Mikey Foster, one half of the pop duo Social House, the same guy featured in Ariana's Boyfriend music video. Their on-screen chemistry wasn't just acting, it sparked curiosity off-screen too. They were seen hanging out more frequently, and whispers of a possible romance began swirling. It wasn't some explosive, paparazzi-chased love story, but something quieter, more low-key. They never put an official label on whatever was going on between them. No Instagram confirmations, no red carpet reveals, but fans picked up on the softness between them. The way they looked at each other, the comfort in their body language, it felt like something gentle had started to grow. But just as quietly as it started, it faded. By early 2020, the connection seemed to vanish. There was no statement, no cryptic lyrics or social media clues. Just silence, no drama, no public fallout. One day they were seen together, and then they simply weren't. Then came the pandemic. The world stopped spinning, but for Ariana, something finally clicked into place. In the quiet, in the stillness, she met Dalton Gomez. Not a pop star, not a comedian, not someone chasing the spotlight. He was a luxury. Real estate agent with no stage, no tour, no tabloid trail. Just a man who saw her for Ariana, not for the global phenomenon. They quarantined together, shut out the chaos, and built something that felt private, safe, even ordinary. They laughed, they found rhythm in the mundane, and eventually they married. It was like she'd finally found peace after years of public heartbreak and relentless fame. But peace doesn't always last. As the world reopened, so did the distance. She flew to London to film Wicked. He stayed behind in Los Angeles. What they built in silence couldn't survive the long gaps, the time zones, the different worlds. Slowly, the connection faded. And in July 2023, they let go. No big drama, no explosive headlines, just a quiet ending, sealed not with a kiss, but with a signature on the divorce papers. The fairy tale didn't crash and burn. It simply ran out of road. And just like that, a new chapter quietly unfolded. Ariana Grande met Ethan Slater on the set of Wicked. He was magnetic in a way only Broadway stars can be. Talented, quick-witted, and not at all the person anyone expected to see by her side. But then again, love rarely follows a script. Their connection sparked while both were navigating emotional wreckage. Ethan had just split from his wife. Ariana was stepping away from her own marriage. Cue the headlines: loud, relentless, and insatiable. The world watched, judged, speculated. But while the storm swirled outside, they chose stillness. They slipped into a new rhythm, moving to New York, meeting each other's families, building something that didn't need to shout. Something quieter, something real. Ariana's new album, Eternal Sunshine, doesn't spell it all out, but it breathes it in. Love, shaded by past pain. A cautious hope stitched into every track. In her own words, she's figuring out how to live with the hovering dread, that constant invisible weight, and yet there's a shift, a softness. Maybe, just maybe, she's learning to breathe again. From Broadway kids to Wicked co-stars, from tattoos to tragedies, Ariana Grande's love story has been anything but boring. It's messy, real, raw, and still unfolding. Maybe that's why we watch. Because in every high note, in every heartbreak, in every line of "thank you next," there's a piece of all of us. And no matter how many chapters it takes, we'll be here, listening.